Good afternoon, welcome back. This is Saima. If you haven't met me before, in today's video we are going to talk about the UK and what is happening currently and why a lot of people are leaving the UK and going to the other countries like USA, Canada, Germany or New Zealand. So this is all we're going to talk about in this video. I'm going to share more or less 15 to 18 points with you that people are considering in while relocating to the other countries. UK has lost its charm, to be honest, and a lot of people, they come to the UK to earn good amount of money, to earn good salary, to have a better future for their families, for themselves, and also to have a better life for themselves and for their children. So if you can't afford to have a better life, if you can't afford the daily cost of living, or you can't afford a house, buying a house with a decent income in the UK, then there's no point, I believe. So this is all we're going to talk about in this video. This video is not to discourage anyone. If your aim, your desire is to come to the UK, you're more than welcome, and everybody thinks it differently. I'm just sharing some points. I'm still living in the UK, so it's totally up to you what you want to do, okay? But it's not to discourage anyone. It's just highlighting some points why a lot of people are leaving the UK, going to the USA, Germany, or any or other countries. All right, so first and foremost, the thing I mentioned about is if you can't afford if you can't afford to have a better life because of the cost of living. The cost of living in the UK is very high at the moment. Cost of living, cost of housing, it includes the housing, groceries, food, transport system, taxing, taxes are so much, and also about the bills. So if you cannot afford all these things in your basic income, that I think it's a good idea to move somewhere else. And a lot of people, they come here and then they decide to move. It costs them money, it costs them time and energy, and it wastes their time as well. So because I've seen a lot of people, they come to the UK and after living here for a few years, they decide to go somewhere else, and maybe they feel like coming to the UK was their mistake. That was a mistake. So you can avoid making this mistake if you feel like these reasons are valid and authentic. I'm going to share some realities of the UK with you. So as I said, cost of living is getting high and high because the rents are not affordable, and even if you want to buy a house here in the UK, you'll be paying for the mortgage for almost 30 years, which is all of your life, isn't it? So yeah, cost of living is very expensive. The second thing I want to mention about is the immigration rules. They are tightening them up every day, almost all the time. The rules are getting tough and tough for everybody. If somebody wants to come here in the UK, the strict rules and regulations, and the paperwork is too much that they don't feel like safe enough to come to the UK because of the immigration rules and the policies and the guidelines that they have to follow. The UK government is making it very hard for the public, for the people to come here in the UK, and the paperwork is too much, and the fees of the visas, any category you want to come in, the fees is too heavy to afford. The third thing I want to mention is less opportunities, and it's been like for a couple of years now, the businesses are shut, and UK government is getting has no money to afford anything. So economically is very uncertain, and job opportunities are very less. And if you want to have a business, if you want to open a business or something, you have to pay a whole lot of money. It's very hard to get a business is here as well. So I think the leaders, the government is not stable at the moment to take the decisions for you. And in terms of immigrants, it's a bit, I think it's a bit tight time. The fourth thing I want to mention is difficulty in accessing healthcare system. So healthcare, our health is very important, especially if you get sick. You have to go to the GP. The GPs usually they give you appointment on daily basis, but nowadays the situation is so bad that you may get the appointment for the next week or the following week. And if your condition is something like not urgent, like an emergency, then they may delay it further. But if it's an emergency, you need to go to ED, emergency department, where you have to wait like 6 to 8 hours, and it's really annoying. I think back in December I went to ED and I had to wait 8 to 10 hours. I was on work that time and I had to go to ED. It took me 8 to 10 hours, and I was just waiting for the results or waiting for the doctor. But at the end they said it's not life threatening and my condition is not something that they'll treat in the emergency, so I had to follow it up with the GP. So it's really annoying. It's not like where you go to the GP and they can find a solution of your problem. Okay, so in ED as well you will be waiting for the 8 to 10 hours. And recently the situation is that worse. The hospitals are overcrowded. We have to care for the patients in the corridor, on the chairs, on the trolleys. So it's really hard to get the medical care that you need at the right time. And also the public services. The fifth point I want to highlight is the public services not accessible. For example, if we talk about the transport system, if you're using the bus, they are overcrowded. Okay, there'll be not enough space. Every morning when I go to work, the bus is overcrowded, like there's not even space to stand up. Can you imagine? So the capacity for the buses is, I think they have 43 seats, and then 53 people can stand. So it's almost, I think it's above their limit. And every time the bus driver will say, please go on the back, go on the back. So you go further at the back and the whole bus is full of people standing. Can you imagine? It's overcrowded. So the public services are not even accessible. A lot of the time the drivers, they are on strike, the buses are on strike, the nurses are on strike, doctors are on strike. I know it's not something new, but I just want to highlight is the UK economy is getting worse and worse every day. The sixth point I want to mention is about the poor work-life balance. As you all know, the nurses, most of the times as nurses or healthcare support workers or any other field you work in, okay, there is no work-life balance because of the working hours that we do. 37.5 hours, not a lot if you think about it, but the work level related stress and anxiety that you have, because you need to overwork. Okay, most of us are overworked and underpaid. So always you think about it and you get a work related stress because of the culture of the workplace, and you feel like you are overworking and not getting paid enough. Okay, and your shift is almost like 12 hours every day. If you want to do less hours, that's up to you. But if you do less hours, you'll be coming to work every day. So what we do is we do 12 hours in four times a day, 4 times a week, and then you get to rest 3 days. All right, but I think 12 hours is too much. If you think about it, you start your journey, you start the work at 7:30, finish at 8 o'clock. But before that, if you need to travel, you need to drive, you need to get ready, so probably you'll make it like 13 to 14 hours. Okay, so the work-life balance is really bad because you will be away from the home. You left the house maybe 6 o'clock in the morning, you come back at 9 o'clock, and then that whole day you are missing from your home. It's like that. So there is no work-life balance, and the salary is very less. Okay, the salary is very less. For a registered nurse, band 5 nurse, you'll be getting like 15 to 17 or 1800. That is nothing. If you feel like if you convert it in your own currency, you'll be like, but it's a lot of money. It is a lot of money. But how about the spending? How about the cost of living? How much you're spending? Your grocery, your bills, your taxes. So you will be left with nothing. Okay, the savings is little, no savings at all nowadays, I believe. The next point, seventh point, is lack of career growth, limited opportunities. As I said earlier, if the businesses are shut, there will be no opportunities, no job opportunities for the newcomers, and a lot of people, they get scammed with the visa sponsorships, and when they come here, there are no jobs or no duties, which is very, very disgusting. And for a lot of people, it's a big problem, because sometimes they come by paying so much money. Okay, so every time if someone messages me saying that, oh, I'm paying for example 25,000 pounds to somebody to get a sponsorship visa, is it okay or is it worth it? I always say no, because maybe they are scam. Okay, they'll give you fake visa, or you come here, and then you get scammed, and when you come here, you don't get any jobs, you don't get any duties to work on, and then you have to go back home. Okay, if the company is giving you visa, it should be free. Okay, you don't need to pay for the visas. Some healthcare agencies, they charge you as well for the visas. It's totally up to you if you're gonna go with them. So we were talking about the opportunities, job opportunities, career development. I think there are better opportunities in the USA, in the Canada, in Germany, or New Zealand, Australia. A lot of people going to Australia, because you get what you want. Okay, and if you want to grow further in your career, you have the opportunity to go further. Okay, here you feel like you are limited to some opportunities as only, and then nowadays, if you see, there are no vacancies at all. So the next point, I lost the number count, but I think it was 8. So the 8th point is housing crisis. Okay, even you want to get a house on the mortgage, you won't be able to find a house that you want. Okay, the most of the houses are very small, the rooms are very small, the gardens are very small, and then sometimes even for 2 BHK you will be paying a lot of money, and then you are going to get it on mortgage, which means you will be paying tax on that, and then for almost like 30 or 35 years you'll be paying the amount. Okay, it seems like same as like you are paying rent every month, but at the end of the day, at the end of 35 years, the house will be yours. Okay, that's the only difference. The mortgage is, you'll be paying same as you pay for the rent, but you will be getting the house at the end of 35 years, at the end of your term. So for those 35 years, you'll be paying the monthly payment. Okay, the interest rate you'll be paying, it's almost double or triple the amount of that you owed from the bank. So how you get a house in the UK is like a mortgage system. Okay, you get a loan from the bank, they give you a certain amount of loan as you required according to your salary or according to your income, and then you pay that money back to the bank with interest on. Okay, so for example, you have taken 250,000 pounds, and then you'll be paying the interest on that, and you'll be returning the money in 35 years, and then the interest rate is almost double or triple the amount that you owed or you borrowed from the bank. So getting the house with normal income, with my nurse salary, with one person salary, is not enough, and you won't be able to afford the house. Okay, so if you understand what I mean, I'm not discouraging you, but telling you the facts. 8th point I want to mention is no savings at all. If you are spending everything that you are earning, your cost of living is very high, you are paying your bills, taxes so much. Even you do extra bank shifts, like you do maybe like 6 or 7 bank shifts in that month, you'll be paying the double tax. It's crazy. Like, I mean, you should have, even if you I think you should have little bit of more control on your money instead of paying that all money in the taxes. Okay, so if your salary is 37,500 per year, you are eligible to pay 20% tax. If it goes a little bit above that point, you'll be paying 40%. So what's the point if I'm earning a little bit more by doing extra shifts, by doing bank shifts or extra shifts than my contracted hours, and I'm getting that extra money, and if it goes above 37.5, I'll be paying 40% tax. So why do I suffer and struggle or do extra? Okay, whereas if my salary is below 37.5 thousand per year, I'll be paying only 20%. So I'll rather keep the same salary and pay 20% instead of doing extra and paying 40% tax. I think it's good to earn extra. I'll give you whole loads of money, but if you have to pay 40% tax on all that money that you get, if I'm getting £100, I have to pay 40 to somebody for the tax. I think it's a bit too much. I think there should be a little bit more relaxation. Okay, the next point is because of the immigration. Ninth point, because of the immigration rules and the policies and guidelines, a lot of people are not able to bring their families in, which can be very, very hard if you have to work without your family and your family is living somewhere else and you need to live somewhere else to get your job done. I think it's not good idea, and then you will not be able to concentrate more on your job. So the immigration rules are getting tough and tough every day, which is not good for immigrants. Okay, and I think the social benefits as well, financial difficulties, we are not able to spend a lot of money on ourselves if we need to if I need to get something extra other than that my necessities, I'm not able to afford it. So also talking about the immigration rules and regulation, ILR is now they're proposing to be for 10 years or 15 years before you get your ILR, indefinite leave to remain, whereas in the other countries like USA, before you apply you get your citizenship, or Australia you get your citizenship. So why they're making it so hard for us? Okay, as an immigrant, I think it's 15 years or 10 years will be too much to get the ILR or to get the citizenship of any country. So I think that if you think about it, you're working here, you're okay with your family, but the salary you are getting is very less, cost of living is very high, the taxes are very high, the immigration is making it worse for you, making you to spend like 10 or 15 years to stay in the country before you get citizenship. Think about it, okay. My next point is if you want to start business, it's hard for you, you're not able to, you have to show a lot of money, you have to pay taxes, and it's a whole lot of paperwork. All right, my next point, very important point, is weather. There is no sunshine today, there is a little bit no sunshine. If you are someone who wants to who likes the a bit hot environment, a sunny environment, I think UK is not for you. There is no sunshine, raining most of the time, very cold all the time, most of the times. And as well, you're getting loads of other problems. You're gonna get sick, staying indoors all the time. If you're like someone who is always wandering around outside in the sun, or like outdoor bits, like to go out a lot in the sunshine, or like to do your own things when the weather is good, I think UK is not for you, because it's raining all the time here, windy, no sun, dark, almost dark all the time, so you feel like it's evening time most of the days, and you'll be staying indoors watching TV all the time or on your phone. Your eyesight can get worse, you'll get pains in your joints by sitting all the time, no activity. So I think if you are someone who likes to be out in the outdoors most of the times, UK is not for you. Think about it. So I've just given you some points, guys, but it's the reality check. Okay, if I'm earning 1,500 a month, okay, as a band 5 nurse, or maybe 1,700 a month as a band 5 nurse, I have to pay the mortgage if I got the house, which will be more than 1,000 roughly. Okay, if my salary is 1,700, the eligibility for me to get the house will not be a bigger house, it'll be a small house, 2 or 3 bedroom house, maybe 2 bedroom house. So roughly I'm giving you an example. Okay, so I'll be paying maybe 1,100, 1,200 or 1,300 for the mortgage. So what is left is 500. I need to pay my council taxes, I have to pay the bills. The salary you get is after the taxes. All right. So you pay your bills, you pay your home insurance, you pay your own insurance, because you have to get the insurance, life insurance. If you are getting a mortgage, you have to get the life insurance. You are also paying your bills, gas bill, electricity bill, water bill, your Wi-Fi bill. Okay. And on top of that, if your kids are going to school, you will have extra things to do. Okay. Extra things to pay. If you bought anything like furniture, for example, me, I bought the sofas and the dining table, so I'll be paying a little bit for them as well, monthly installment, so which is like 60 or 70 pound per month for single item. Okay. So it's a lot. Okay. The amount of money that you pay, it's a lot. Groceries, I didn't include the groceries. Groceries is getting, they are very expensive nowadays. For 2 people, or if you have to feed 3 people, you'll be paying maybe like £1,000. Okay. It's a lot of money, a lot of money. Before, I remember when I came to the UK in 2020, for £5 you'll be able to get milk, bread, eggs, or vegetable, whatever you like. But nowadays, if you buy little bit things, you'll be paying 10 or 20 pounds. Every time you go, you buy few things, and it'll be like 17, 18 pounds all the time, even though sometimes I buy a few things only. So it's expensive. It is getting very, very expensive. So before you say that I came to the UK, I made a big mistake, I'm gonna go somewhere else, to the USA, to the Canada or Germany or New Zealand, wherever, think about it and do your research. Don't go on my words. Okay. Watch other YouTube videos, do your research, go on Google, search about it. What is the price of the houses or rent of the houses? And also, one thing I didn't mention, even because even the prices are high, but still you are not able to find the house that you're looking for. The crowd is so much that every time you go view a house, and then by the time you get back to the agent, the house is sold already, or it's been rented already. So you will not be able to find the house. Sometimes people have to end up with the opportunity of the flat or the house that they are getting. They just say okay, yes, because it's too much hassle, and then looking and going to view the property, it takes too much time. And also the agents, they feel like they have so many customers, so they don't need to worry about you. Okay. That's another bad side. So this is all for today's video. This video became so long. I wrote few points only, but it became so big for 22 minutes. I'll see you soon in the next one. Till then, take care. Bye bye.